Why then do we have any mountains left? Perhaps we can find an answer to this question if we can find out how mountains are made. One way to make a mountain is to make a pile of something. In nature, how are new materials piled on the surface of the earth? The sediment has settled out in horizontal sedimentary layers. Jawbone, the jawbone connected to the neck bone, the neck bone connected to the backbone, the backbone connected to the hip bone, the hip bone connected to the thigh bone, the thigh bone connected to the knee bone, the knee bone connected to the leg bone, the leg bone connected to the ankle bone, the ankle bone connected to the foot bone, the foot bone connected to the toe bone. Now hear the word of the Lord. Them bones, them bones gonna walk around, them bones gonna walk around, them bones gonna walk around. Now hear the word. Or can mountains be made by pushing material up from below? Over a long time, layers of sediment deeply buried under more layers become compressed and cemented into hard rock. No matter how rough and uneven the bottom is, the sediment settles out in nearly horizontal layers.
But what chance is there that without the aid of the imagination, that history really will survive? Where will it survive?
Lots of time, high temperature, and high pressure are needed to form
memory.
And we often see an induction of behavior or spread of emotion to other persons, almost like a contagious disease. Shortcuts often lead to trouble and thus loss of emotional control. You've heard, haste makes waste. Jeff's losing control of himself. His thinking is becoming muddled, and he's careless in his actions. The madder he gets, the worse it becomes. Did you ever hear anyone say, "I was so mad I couldn't see straight"? Severe emotional stress often decreases efficiency. See what I mean?
And you have the chance to be in a different world.
White cells have the power of independent movement.
And in that world, I think that you can die again.
If this sort of flare-up is repeated often...
And in that world, they also have a heaven.
See what I mean?
And you just keep on dying and living.
Response to the primary stimulus of what? It might lead to a permanently warped personality.
The family gathers new babies here, and great-grandmother knows it's clear that it wouldn't be home without Hegel.
At times like this, family traditions are important, like Hellman's Real Mayonnaise. It's the best, the one you depend on to make all their favorite foods taste terrific.
Everything was great, Grandma. And it wouldn't be home without Hegel.
The man who is going to adventure into the waters below the top, who is going into a new world, a strange element, must learn how to behave in that element for the sake of his own safety. Not that the techniques of diving are difficult, they are not. But the consequences of disobeying the few simple rules are serious. A man can be made ill, can be killed by such disobedience. Consequently, he must be sure of himself, certain that he understands how to dive.
How to sink.
Yes, by a better understanding of the emotional patterns of everyday
How
life,
to float.
and by knowing how you respond to various stimuli, you can develop better control by eliminating the stimulus, or by modifying the
How
stimulus,
to float.
or by modifying the response.
People have an effect on you, even if you don't like them, and their being affects you.
even if they're dead. I mean,
When reality seems too difficult for us to face, we retreat behind defensive mechanisms. There was the girl who always explained that she really didn't want something after she found out she couldn't get it. She was two-faced. Her defense mechanism was rationalization. Remember the boy who failed to make the team? It was because the coach didn't like him, so he said. For him, the fault was always someplace else. A dull tool, the wrong time, a stupid teacher. His defense mechanism is a special type of rationalization that we call projection. Remember the girl who could only disagree? She could only shake her head. Her defense mechanism was negativism. All of us are guilty of defensive mechanisms to some degree at some time. Knowing their dangers, we have a better chance to guard against them. When these poor defenses slip, and they always do, and we're face to face with hard reality again, we have other means of getting away. Remember the boy who couldn't dance, but who always brought a pint to the party? He was trying to escape from a sense of his own inadequacy. The next morning, he'd have a hangover, and he still couldn't dance. She was a daydreamer. She could dream that she was the most beautiful woman in the world. Time and time again, she could return to it, getting more beautiful with each dream. But every time she woke up, she was face to face with her own face. He identified himself with a welterweight champion. Every fight the champ won, he won. Every punch the champ took, he took. And he could take it. His escape mechanism was identification with somebody else. She thought that if you pretended a thing wasn't there, it might go away. If you pretended something hadn't happened, maybe it hadn't. If you hid the truth away, maybe it would turn out to be a lie. Her escape mechanism was suppression.
do you know what you look like?
Well, sure I do. Hey, who are you?
I'm your mirror. I'm you, as others see you.
I know what I look like.
Do you know what you look like to others?
Sure, I look like me.
Have a good look.
Hey, I look like a clown, like a sad clown. Gee, I'm really sad.
That's what you look like to others.
I do? How'd I get this way?
Not listening, not paying attention, thinking about yourself too much and not enough about others.
I don't understand what you mean.
Take a closer look and you will.
Too many of us refuse to face reality. Too many of us try to escape our duties and identities, our faces and our families. But all these things remain. All the realities remain whenever we leave our dreams and return to the real world. Face-saving, self-justification, deception. Why? Disappointment, discouragement, a sense of failure. Why? Insecurity, a lack of confidence, a feeling of inferiority. Why? Why? There are all kinds of reasons for such things, and there could be all kinds of results from them. Little things, and buried them deep within himself, carefully suppressed and kept from the healing light of day.
seeking, oh. The hiding and the seeking and the opposite inflection, I know, I'm hiding and I'm seeking, then I'm hiding, now I'm seeking, oh, go, I contain sunlight, I contain sunshine, I contain stardust, I contain starshine, I contain